Dear Christmas week today, so much peace delivered to the choo-choo train.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is your always forget. So yes, that's the news story. The fire and yeah, this must be the one from Hollywood window. It really done.
Every who in Whoville likes Christmas a lot. The rich who lived just above Whoville did not. How the Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Oh, please don't ask why. You must know the reason. Good Bean's head was not screwed on just right. Perhaps those shoes were just simply too tight. Perhaps the most likely reason of all was his heart was simply two sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, the Grinch stood there on Christmas Eve, just hating the Who's, staring down from his cave with a sour, Grinchy frown at the warm white windows beneath the town. She knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a holiday wreath.
And they're hanging their stockings.
He snarled and sneered.
Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here.
Then he grabbed his fingers, nervously drumming.
Must find a way to stop Christmas from coming.
For tomorrow he knew all the food girls and boys would wake bright and early and dress for their toys. Noise! 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 That is the one thing I can! Welcome now! No! Noise! Then the Who sang an ode was down to a feast, and they'd feast, and feast, and feast, feast, feast!
Pudding! Huzzah!
They feast on Who pudding and rare roast beef, which is something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least.
More beef! More pudding!
Then, all the food on the old was in. And you something ain't like Mr. Ball. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas shines ringing in their hands on hand. And the Who's was so pulsating. They'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing, sing, sing. And the more the Grinch started, the Christmas singing, the more the Grinch thought.
I must stop this whole thing. For 54 years I put up with it now. I must stop Christmas from coming. But how?
Then the Grinch got an idea. A terrible idea. The Grinch got a wonderfully terrible idea.
I know exactly what to do.
The Grinch laughs in his throat.
What a great Frenchy trick. With this hat and this coat, I'll look just like Saint Nick. Now, to find a reindeer.
The Grinch looked around. The reindeer were scarce. There were none to be found. But that stopped the Grinch? No. The Grinch simply said,
Well, if I can't find one, I'll make one instead.
so he called his dog Max.
Max!
And he took some red thread and he tied it again to the top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a derelict sleigh that he hitched to old Max. Then the Grinch said,
Giddy up!
and their sleigh started down towards the homes where the Who's lay asleep in their town. And their windows were dark and snow filled the air. The Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square,
This is stop number 1.
the old red boss hissed. And he climbed up the roof with these sacks in his fist. The Who's were all dreaming. They slid down the chimney, so it was a rather tight pinch. Santa could do it, and so did the Grinch. He got stuck just once, for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace glue. Glue talking around.
These stockings are the first things to go.
They clung and glittered with a smile of landing. That's all around the whole room where he took every present. And the ring to everyone.
And with that,
Hot-dogs, bicycles, rollerblades, straw, checkerboard, icicle, popcorn, and plum. And he stuffed them on a bag. The Grinch very nimbly stuffed all in the bag. Up the chimney. So he slumped in the kitchen. He took the food's feast. He took the food pudding and the roast room beef. He cleaned out that ice pot. It was quick as a flash. Make it, moderate that's why for humans. And that grimy green Grinch even took the hoo-ha! He stuffed the Christmas feast on the chimney with lead.
Now I'll stuff up the tree.
And the Grinch grabbed their tree as he started to shove. He heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. Tiny little Cindy Lou who was no more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this little who's daughter, who'd come from her bed from a cup of cold water. She looked at the Grinch and said to him, sweetly and shy,
Santa Claus, why are you taking on the Christmas tree? Why?
adorable. But, the Green Grinch was so clever and slick. He thought of a lie, and he thought it up quick.
Oh, my sweet tiny tot. To fix this I tried, but there's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'll take it back to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, and then I'll bring it back here.
His fib fooled the child, and he patted her head. Got her a drink. And then sent to the bed. When Cindy and Lou went to bed with their cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed their tree up.
We're supposed to be asleep. It's Santa here. And Santa here. And yes, he saw me. He saw Santa. Oh, Santa, tell us, what did he do? Did he have his red sack packed on his back? No games or toys or boxes of bags. Red sack and any bags. Just get the Christmas tree. Fix the light on his side. But when he'll take it to his home, it will ride.
Again, adorable. Then he went up the chimney, the green grimy liar. On their walls he left nothing, just some books and some wire. As he climbed up that chimney, one more thing he desired was the last thing he took, the log for their fire. The one speck of food that was left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Oh, and he's taking that too, okay. Oh, come on! Why do I work for this guy? Then he did the same thing for the other Who's Mouse houses, leaving crumbs way too small for the other Who's Mouses. It's just past dawn, other Who's in the bed, other Who's in the snooze as he packed up his sled. Packed their presents with ribbons and wrappings, the candle and candies, the trimmings and trappings. He rode this load 4,000 feet up to the top of Mount Trumpets and where he could dump it.
They're finding out now no Christmas is coming. They're waking up soon. I know what they'll do. Their eyes will pop open a moment or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry, boo-hoo! Oh, that noise, I simply must hear.
So, he waited and grinned, his hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started out low, and it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. It sounded quite merry. This couldn't be so. It was very merry. He stared at the mountain with a grin on his eyes. He looked so sudden surprise. Every fool had to do million tall, small. For singing without any friends at all. And some Christmas from coming, and you came. Somehow or not, it came just the same. The Grinch and the scream, see ice cold in the snow, so it puzzled and puzzled.
How can this be so? It came without ribbons, boxes, or bags. It came without tinsel, popcorn, or tags. It came without hoop pudding. It came without roast beef. It came without hoop food for the feast.
He thought for hours till his finger was sore. Then the Grinch had thought of something he had thought before.
Maybe Christmas doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas indeed means a little bit more. My heart, I must admit, has grown in this light. Sizes at least, it's not quite so tight. Oh, I must return these treasures at least, and then I'll bring back the toys and the food for the feast.
That's adorable. I don't know.
Anyway, then he told the old sleds to tell the shop to stop. Oh, we can't set the bridge.
I must make it stop.
So he grabbed on tight to the sleigh, he did. And maxed out on Grinch. Oh, yes, he did. They pulled with the strength and Grinch just found. And they turned his old sleigh from tip top through the town. Maxed out on top, his tail wagging round.
And they rushed to Whoville on the white snowy ground. The Who's were gathered in the town center square, holding hands and singing as Christmas was there. The Grinch, he was welcome with warm hearts aglow. He gave that new tree in the ring's bow. He soared the sash, the gift from the feast. See, sat by him and she carved to roast.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank all of you for coming. And I just want to thank everyone that has come to see this production. I have to tell you that this is probably one of the best cast of children that I have ever worked with. You are related to them, mom, dad, grandparents, and whatever. Every single one of them was absolutely fantastic, and I do hope they come back again. I also want to thank anyone that's here now. I was here before. We did a food drive for the Salem County with the Disciples Pantry at the Allsbury Methodist Church, and I got to watch that grow, and that's been absolutely wonderful to be able to contribute to that. Let me see. I think that would be about it. But again, ladies and gentlemen, this tremendous cast, the kids, the adults, they all work together. We have a family. The last show was the worst because then we have to break up. But you all have a chance right now if you'd like to meet them out in the lobby and picture taking with the glorious gatekeeper, Santa, and the Grinch. Thank you so much.